You are the one who holds it all together. When the crisis hits, you are the calm one. When the family fights, you are the peacemaker. When the project fails, you are the one working late to fix it. You have built an entire identity around being the rock. You tell yourself, I can handle this. I don't need help. I am strong. But lately, there is a hairline fracture in that rock. You feel a fatigue that sleep cannot touch. It is a deep, marrow-level exhaustion. You find yourself sitting in your car in the driveway, unable to turn the key and go inside, because you know that the moment you walk through that door, you have to be on again. You have to carry the weight. You look at your trembling hands and you think, what is wrong with me? Why am I crumbling? I must be weak. But you are wrong. You are not weak. You are simply violating the laws of physics. You are trying to carry a load designed for a tribe on the back of a single human being. Consider the man who started it all. Zeno of Citium was not born a sage sitting on a marble pedestal. He was a merchant. He was a man who carried the weight of a fortune. He traded in Tyrian purple dye, a substance worth more than gold in the ancient world. His entire life, his reputation, and his future were loaded onto a single ship. And then, the storm came. In a matter of hours, the ocean swallowed everything. Zeno washed up in the port of Athens as a beggar. He had no money, no status, no friends, and no cargo. He was wet, cold, and utterly alone. By all modern standards, Zeno was a failure. He was a man crushed by the weight of the world. But it was there, in the depths of that total loss, that he discovered the foundation of the philosophy that would save millions of minds. He realized that for years he had been carrying a burden that was never truly his to keep. He realized that the ship, the cargo, the money, these were just external weights, and when they were stripped away, he was not destroyed. He was still standing. He famously said, I made a prosperous voyage when I suffered shipwreck. Why? Because the shipwreck forced him to stop carrying the dead weight of his possessions and start carrying the light weight of his own soul. But here is the crucial part of Zeno's story that we often miss. When he washed up in Athens, he did not retreat into a cave. He did not go live on top of a mountain to be strong in isolation. He went to a bookstore. He asked questions. He sought out Crates the cynic. He sought out teachers. And when he began to teach his own philosophy, he did not do it behind closed doors for a select elite. He chose the Stoa Poikile, the painted porch. It was a public colonnade in the middle of the bustling marketplace. It was the heart of the city, filled with noise, people, beggars, and politicians. Stoicism was named after this porch. It is, by its very definition, a philosophy of connection. Zeno understood that wisdom does not grow in a vacuum. He taught that the universe is a single living organism, and we are all parts of it. A man trying to be strong alone is like a finger trying to lift a boulder without the hand. It is not an act of bravery. It is an act of anatomical absurdity. Zeno saw that true strength requires a network. He knew that if he tried to rebuild his life solely by gritting his teeth in silence, he would have remained a broken merchant. Instead, he leaned on the wisdom of others. And in doing so, he built a school that has lasted 2 millennia. Zeno, the shipwreck survivor, left us a warning. He who has strength must also know rest. He knew the sound of a mast snapping in a storm. He knew that wood, no matter how strong, breaks when the pressure exceeds its design. You are doing exactly what Zeno warned against. You are standing in the gale, refusing to bend, refusing to seek the harbor, thinking that your rigidity is your virtue. But rigidity is brittle. We live in a culture that glorifies the solitary hero. We worship the image of Atlas, the Titan standing alone, holding the celestial sphere on his shoulders. We think that is the ultimate ideal of strength, but we forget that Atlas was being punished. His isolation was not a gift. It was a curse from Zeus. To try to be Atlas voluntarily is not strength. It is a slow form of suicide. Let us look deeper through the lens of Marcus Aurelius, the spiritual grandson of Zeno. Marcus was the most powerful man on earth. He could have isolated himself in a palace, yet his journals are filled with reminders of our interconnectedness. He wrote, "We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural." He understood that humans are social animals. We are not designed to function alone. Imagine a hand severed from the body. Is it still a hand? It looks like one, but it has lost its purpose, its strength, and its life. A hand is only strong when it is connected to the arm, the shoulder, the heart. You are feeling weak right now because you have severed yourself from the body of humanity. You have convinced yourself that asking for help is an admission of defeat. You have convinced yourself that your pain is a burden that will crush others, so you hide it. You wear a mask of competence while you suffocate behind it. Why do we do this? Why do we choose to suffer in silence? It is pride, masquerading as nobility. We tell ourselves we are protecting others, but often we are protecting our own ego. We are terrified that if we put down the weight, even for a second, people will see that we are not gods. They will see that we are struggling. They will see our humanity. And we have equated humanity with weakness. But Zeno teaches us that to be human is to be part of a whole. To reject help is to reject your own nature. Think of a bridge. A bridge can hold thousands of tons of weight. But if you take all that weight and place it on a single pillar, the pillar will snap. Is the pillar weak? No. The pillar is made of concrete and steel. It is incredibly strong. It snapped because it was forced to bear a load that was meant to be distributed across 10 pillars. You are that pillar. You are snapping not because you lack resilience, but because you are structurally overloaded. You are carrying the emotional baggage of your parents, the expectations of your boss, the anxieties of your partner, and your own fears all alone. There is a profound concept in Stoicism called oikeiosis. It translates roughly to affinity or sense of belonging. It means that our circle of concern should expand outward. It means we are part of a cosmopolis, a universal city. In this city, no one is truly alone unless they choose to be. When you share your burden, you are not dumping it on someone else. You are allowing the system to work as it was designed. You are allowing the other pillars to take their share of the weight. You might say, "But I have no one. I am truly alone." Even then, Stoicism offers a way. You are never alone if you are with yourself. But currently, you are not with yourself. You are against yourself. You are your own slave driver. You are the one cracking the whip, shouting, "More, faster, harder." You treat yourself with a cruelty you would never inflict on a stranger. The first step to unburdening yourself is to stop being your own tyrant. It is to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I am doing enough." It is to put down the mental bat you have been using to beat yourself for not being perfect. You must learn the difference between endurance and destruction. Endurance is walking through a storm to get home. Destruction is standing in the storm and refusing to seek shelter because you think shivering proves you are tough. It proves nothing. It only leads to hypothermia. The strongest thing you can do right now is to admit that the load is too heavy. There is a strange magic that happens when you finally speak your truth. When you look at your friend, your spouse, or even a blank page in a journal, and you say, "I am struggling. I am scared. I am overwhelmed." You expect the world to collapse. You expect them to turn away in disgust. But that almost never happens. Instead, the air leaves the room. The tension breaks. You find that your vulnerability is not a repellent. It is a magnet. It invites others to be real with you. You realize that everyone is carrying something. And by showing your load, you give them permission to show theirs. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, don't be ashamed to need help. Like a soldier storming a wall, you have a mission to accomplish. And if you've been wounded and you need a comrade to pull you up, so what? So what? That is the question. So what if you need rest? So what if you need to cry? So what if you can't do it all today? Does the sun stop rising? Does the empire fall? No, the world keeps spinning. The only thing that changes is that you stop dying inside. This January, amidst the cold and the dark, give yourself the permission you have been waiting for. You do not have to carry the sky. You are not Atlas. You are a human being, made of flesh and blood and spirit. You were built to share, to lean, to rest. Zeno found his strength only after he let the ocean take his cargo. Perhaps it is time you let go of yours. Put the rock down, just for a moment. Unclench your hands. Let the blood flow back into your fingers. Look around you. You are not alone in this arena. You are not weak. You have just been strong for too long, for too many people, without replenishing your own soul. He who has strength must also know rest. Know it now, before the pillar snaps. Breathe, and let someone else help you carry the weight. See you next time.